Good evening, everybody. Turbo back for another review session. I hope you're all having a wonderful Christmas or about to enjoy the festivities. This week I've turned into a I wish it was a making bank shorting bro, but I've been shorting OTCs. STT Pro guys, you'll know Huddy talks about this setup a lot. And those of you who aren't a member of STT Pro, just looking for these overextended OTCs. So ABML was on the list today. ALPP is also on the list today, and what you're looking for are basically just these huge gap ups. So you're just looking for a lot of green days in a row. So ALPP's had a few red days thrown amongst it. ALPP actually didn't really fade off by the looks of it. So I didn't take ALPP, but well, that's a lovely fade at the beginning to start off with. It just sort of held throughout the day, so that may be pretty strong. ABL, God, I can't talk tonight. This really proves that everything's done in one take. I'm not doing this again. So ABML, in my opinion, fitted the pattern well. And the beauty of this pattern is that you put something on your watch and you're not like, it's not like you have to trade it that day. You wait and see. It's just a wait and see approach. So ABML gapped up brilliantly. That's what we want to see. And it could have kept going, which is fine, because then I just look to short it tomorrow. And all I'm doing is looking for the first time it goes red. And when it goes red, I'm going to short it. And that's what I try to do. So I'm pissed off at myself for how I played this today, because I left a lot of money on the table. But at this stage in my process, it's just the experience that's important. So I was sort of half asleep at this bit and hesitant. It's like I haven't really done this before, but I was like, should have just entered at 132, should have just shorted, done. Didn't, shorted at like 123. Got the fade that I wanted. And then this green candle just threw me, because I'm at like 105 thinking, bloody hell, like, what's going on here? And then it just jumped from like 105 to 120. I was like, shit. So I covered it like 117. And, well, clearly it was a mistake. And I had one in my mind. I thought it's going to drop to one. And one, cover at one, whatever. I didn't. Anyways, so I was disappointed with that late entry and early exit. Still made money though. So I guess I got a percentage of the move. And then I really wanted to buy it, to long it. So we got the panic, then we got the dip buy. And again, I suppose because I'd dropped out of this trade early, I should have been thinking, just have a buy order ready at 1, look at the level 2. But I think it just turns so quickly, and then it's like, it's difficult, because then it just like this is a big count. This is a 2-minute, but it was a big bounce from off the $1 mark, and then we just see it just ride up. There's small resistance on round numbers at 120, bounced back to 110, and then went up towards 1.3, 1.32. So I reshorted it early. I reshorted it just past this 120, got it to 110, and then obviously it popped back up and got nervous and covered, which was stupid, because the thesis is that this is weak until it shows any proof of it being strong. And the only way that it shows that it's strong is if it goes green on the day, and at no point does it go green. So really, I should just be, any pops that are towards the 1.3 should just be adding. So I'm actually like, I'll see if I can ask Huddy his thoughts on this, about this short. But like, as long as you re-add here, I suppose that's not such a problem. I think in hindsight, it's the panic and the cover that's a mistake, because if I'd sold down at, let's say 110, I'm making profit on that trade. So I got back in at 127, and this is a bit like watching paint dry. It just drops down, slowly ticks along. Again, maybe there was an ad, another ad around this 127 here, because the thesis is, again, it's such low risk, because if you can enter as close to 132 as you can, then your risk is extremely low, because I got in at 127, so I'm risking 5 cents a share, and really my goal is like 1. So that's like 5 to 1 risk to reward, which is pretty insane. And if that works a very high percentage of the time, then you've got a monstrous edge on the market. And I added, so I obviously faded. I thought, well, my thesis is strong. It's not tested VWAP once. So I added some more at 112. And then panicked and covered at 107, but just because around late afternoon, when I was expecting it to get weaker, all of a sudden the bid just looked really strong. I then bought back in around a similar mark. And yeah, then this happened, which I was expecting it to be weak. And I was expecting it to fade in the last sort of half an hour of the day below 1, but just didn't. So I don't know, I'm somewhat disappointed with this, but the reason why I'm against, it seems logical to hold this overnight, because after a first red day, you expect to have it a second red day, particularly when it's down nearly 20% at one point. The issue I have is I think my broker's like 5 times overnight. So if I just say, for example, if I paid $10 to locate my borrows, then it would be $50 to hold it overnight. I think I need to check. And then all of a sudden, that's quite expensive, because then if it does gap up, well, you're pretty fucked. Is the honest answer. And there's always the option to re-short it again tomorrow. So it might do something similar. If it does gap up and then goes red, could just do the same thing again. And I think the important thing with this is, like, it is like watching paint dry. It is boring. So I think really you just got to keep it open at the top. Keep an eye on the price. You don't really need to follow this too in-depthly, because what I did do is then miss out on loads of other things. Like this, like JAGX. That's dying. OCGN again. Like this, this is like 20 cents to $3 in 2 days. So we'll see what happens with this. So these are still on the watch for tomorrow. JAGX. Maybe not so much now. We'll have to see what happens with this one. But everything's look hard. It's just certainly a buyer's and a bag holders market at the moment. So that's 2 days of OTC shorts for me. CYDY yesterday, AMBL today. Green on both. Not really, no profit to write home about, but they're really nice trades actually to be involved in, because they're relatively free. Just follow the pattern, and as long as it doesn't go green, no stress. And CYDY I was able to get near, so I got the second pop with CYDY yesterday towards red to green, and then that faded, and then that faded really well late. So CYDY, I might as well just show you. So CYDY really nice. Again, that's yesterday. So the open close was 6. So again, gapped up to 7, nice, and then it just, look at that panic, literally straight down to 5, and then look at that panic. Look at the panic dip buy straight to 6, and I think I got in at 597, and then I just did nothing, just let it fade, and I closed some at like 542, and the rest at 520 for like yesterday was better than today. for nice little gain. So yeah, they're 2 days of just following a relatively simple pattern. I guess the difficulty is that you've got to spot these. So you can see here again, CYDY just green, 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 green all the way up. But look at that first day when it just goes. Oh, hang on, I'm looking at the wrong. Sorry, I'm looking at earlier in the year. That's earlier in the year, and this is exactly the same. Green, 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 drop. This run up isn't quite as big, isn't quite as pronounced, but it is lots of greens. And then it went red yesterday, and then you see it went red again today. So that's what we'd expect ABML to do tomorrow, is go red again. Um, yeah, so like, I think I'm going to keep ABML on the watch list for tomorrow, because if I get a chance to reshort, like I personally would love it to open up and then go red. Obviously, those people overnighting it will just want it to go straight red and die. But with ABML, I don't CYDY probably slowly drifts down to around the $4 mark, so it's got another dollar of downside. And ABML, if we look at previous support, it's at 0.4. So this could go down to 40 cents. That's probably the level that we'd be looking to test. So over the next few days, it could drift certainly towards 0.4. So there's still lots and lots of downside. But we shall see tomorrow. But anyway, that's enough of my ramblings. Like I said, just want to keep myself accountable, keep myself honest. I know these are largely quite selfish videos, but hopefully it could pick up, anyone who does watch can pick up a little bit, or just keep me, like I said, just keep me accountable. And this is something that's really fun to look at. And if you can trade all three stages, the panic dip, and then the panic dip buy, and then the slow fade, there's a lot of money. Like I saw that I think Jack Kellogg, who traded CYDY yesterday, he made like nearly 100K on it. And I assume, I don't know, I don't know his entry points or anything like that, but he probably played all three stages, because each stage had most of the stages had like $1 on average in them. And that's not bad when it's like, that low priced. So thank you very much for those of you who have tuned in. Hit me up, add me on Discord, hit me up if you want to chat. Love chatting about this stuff. And have a great Christmas. Bye.